running backs this week. Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, and Saquon Barkley did not reach deals with their teams. And there's potential of a holdout, at least with two of the guys right now. So this prompted running backs all over the league to kind of band together and get online and Twitter and start talking about how the NFL is really not doing a good job in taking care of the running backs. And just tying it back to Isiah Pacheco, he's a running back, wasn't a 7th round pick. He's a guy who hasn't gotten his big payday, even as far as being drafted. So KC radio host, our friend of the show, Carrington Harrison, tweeted, and I thought this was a very interesting tweet, so I wanted to get your thoughts on it. So he tweeted, a player like Isiah Pacheco is really screwed by the system. He's 24 and a 7th round pick. He has to play 2 more seasons under his rookie deal, can't hold out for the final season, and the Chiefs can tag him. He could possibly not hit free agency until he's 28, 29. He's never getting paid. That's what he tweeted. What are your thoughts on the whole situation and how the running backs are kind of getting together with this whole thing, and also specifically to the 2nd and 3rd day guys like Isiah Pacheco?
I mean, there's a lot of truth there for what Brandon is saying, and that's the reality of where the NFL is right now, especially with dealing with the running backs. And so, what's going to change is you're going to do some things that's really uncomfortable. Okay, and these guys getting together, collaborating, making a coalition, it's so important for them to really, man, hold to their guns. You have to do that. See, because the thing is, if you don't, you set the market right now, everybody loses as a running back. Everybody loses. And so all the guys that's coming behind you, because you're trying to devalue, the position, all those guys suffer. And like you said, a guy like Pacheco, who may not get paid and they're trying to keep him on, we want to get these sweet deals from you. I want you to come in, or we just get another running back. Shoot, you may not get another Pacheco. You don't know what you got in the guy until a guy goes out there and performs. Once you see what you got in the guy, then it's like, okay, well, guess what? I'm going to reward him for his performance, okay, and potential performance. We've seen what he could be able to do, right? So guys should be compensated for it. It's the same thing in the real world. It's the same thing when we sit there and we watch the writer's strike, okay? We're watching the actors saying it. And I forgot who it was that was talking about this. They were saying, like, look, if actors want to go and promote their movie, you need to realize once you do that, hey, you broke the line.
Yep.
You lose, I lose, we all lose. We all lose. So we got to stay steadfast in the things that we're doing, okay? Understanding what our value is, and we got to fight for that. I'm on board for all those things, okay? Big corporations, all those different things, man, listen, hey, we should pay people accordingly, okay, to their performance and things like that. I talk about this all the time, okay? Different conversation, but pretty much in the same vein. It's the same thing that, when you look at teachers and different ones that put up with a lot of different stuff and they don't get paid. They're not compensated for the mess they put up with. And we're talking about what the top tier guys, what they've been doing, what they mean to teams. And you're going to diminish what that is? Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Dalvin Cook. Are you kidding? Nick Chubb? Come on now. So we can have these conversations, but let's be honest. These guys mean something. They not just mean something just to their teams, but to the entire NFL. You're telling me that every team to get these guys goes up. I mean, their ability goes up, no doubt about it. There's better chances, better odds getting guys like that, period. Okay, and that's what you're paying it for. So I have an issue with that because it's like, okay, well, we want to maybe demean and diminish one position, but then we're going to send another one, right? Wide receivers are getting paid $30 million a year, $30 million a year. You don't want to come off 8 to 10 for a running back? Have we seen the all-purpose yards yet? Hello? Have we seen the guys that actually lead the list in all-purpose yards? Everybody's talking about, what's a passing league? Yeah, there's a passing league. Running backs don't catch footballs? All of a sudden, they're just strictly running backs. They don't catch screens, slants, all this. You don't line them up anywhere else. So I think we have an issue here in the entirety to the NFL, and fans start playing into it. That's how I look at it. Fans start believing, okay, well, I think, shoot, this is this is done by owners. Owners don't want to get the money up, right? Okay, fine. The big boys the big name players have to get together for the small guys. That's how it has to work. Okay, they got to pay the price. Some price may be too rich for some people. Okay, I get if you're a young guy and you got to eat where you got to eat. I get that. But can Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Dalvin Cook, and those guys hold up and say, hey, look, man, we're not being valued like we should. All right, well, we're going to see what the Vegas, we see what they're going to do, the Raiders. We're going to see what New York's going to be, okay? Heck, you just gave all that money to Daniel Jones. What the hell were they doing? Daniel Jones. That dude came back, and he was handing the ball off to him. So guess what? It makes it easier in the passing game, okay? We understand this. We understand that it's a match made in heaven, all right? Chiefs Kingdom, because we passed the ball, it's a good marriage because we got a good, reliable back in Pacheco and Jet, okay? And CH when he comes in. But this conversation, this argument that running backs are not as valuable, and oh my gosh, well, it's a passing league, it's just crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. Because if you start actually looking at the stats, you start looking at what they mean to teams, then you'll see it. Okay, so I know I'm saying a lot, man, but look, there's a lot to be said on this. People have been making comments like, well, you can't build around a running back. Well, that's the problem because you haven't been doing it. Mm-hmm. Chubb, you didn't have a good quarterback. You put money into what's the I can't even think of the other quarterback we let go. He's been
Baker?
on 2 or 3 different. Who?
Baker.
Yeah, that's it. That guy. So I've been on 2 or 3 different teams. But you were throwing, he was doing commercials saying it was his house. So you've been in 3 houses since then. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna leave it alone. But go ahead.
He's big into real estate, JD.
Yeah.
No, I mean what you're saying, and I think with Chiefs specifically, and I think this is a big argument that I've seen from a lot of people who are just trying to use the Chiefs as the prime example as to why not pay running backs, and that's I think is a terrible example because there's only one Patrick Mahomes. There's only one Patrick Mahomes. You could put Saquon Barkley back there, you could put Pacheco back there, Jet McKinnon. Spencer Ware was he even came back to the Chiefs when he wasn't back there. I guess Pat's first year starting. I mean, it doesn't really matter who you put back there, Patrick Mahomes, because we don't really run the ball that much. I mean, Pacheco had a lot of carries in the Super Bowl. I think it was 12 carries in the Super Bowl. That's a lot for our team, But Saquon Barkley helps take the pressure off of Daniel Jones. It doesn't matter what running back. It doesn't matter what running back the Chiefs have back there. It's going to take the pressure off Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't matter. But Daniel Jones needs a running game. Kirk Cousins needs a running game. A lot of these quarterbacks need that kind of that share to take to get the pressure off of them. Mahomes doesn't need that. It's a totally different thing altogether. But there's a lot of these guys. Jimmy Garoppolo. What's he going to do this year when they don't have a running game? His whole career, he's had a running game with San Francisco, New England. They've always had a running game. What's he going to do without a prime guy back there?
Dude, we could go up and down the list. Derek Carr. Okay, New Orleans without Kamala, right? They're gonna be struggling a little bit. Hey, Tennessee without Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill. That's when you putting all your money on that guy. Come on, man. All right, look.
Take CMC off that San Francisco. Yeah, they don't have really their quarterback situation is kind of murky right now. But
Well, listen. Hey, Brock Purdy, as much as he came and he played lights out, they was worried about that. CMC. Killing them, okay, as they should. And guess what? Hey, San Francisco, they snatched him up quick. When he became, who do I sign to get this guy? Absolutely going to pay him because they understood his value. They understood what he was going to be able to do, all-purpose yards, okay? They bet. And so that's the point of it. You want to get guys that that can come out there, that can absolutely torch defenses. And using the Chiefs is a bad model. Like you said, because we had PM15. Hey, guess what? We got the greatest quarterback in the NFL. We got the greatest tight end in the NFL. We got one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. We got a great young defense in the NFL. We got the best coach in the NFL.
Yep.
Okay. We didn't really put that much stock in wide receivers.
No.
We've been going back and forth and talking about we don't even have a number 1 wide receiver, which is crazy to me because we do. Okay, Kadarius Toney. All right, Skyy Moore and those guys who come up there and can play. They're gonna ball out of control. But guess what? Who facilitates that? Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Okay. Who's the great kind of symbiotic relationship? Isiah Pacheco and Jack. Right. Yep. So it works. And guess what? Newsflash: those 12 carries that Pacheco had in the Super Bowl took pressure off Patrick Mahomes. Yep. Right. You're welcome. Because you still got to put pressure on the defense. You got to keep them honest. That's what a good running back does. Okay, these guys just don't grow on trees. I get everybody wants to go and find, Austin Eckler, right? Yeah. They want to find Austin Eckler. Okay, well, I think he got screwed. He did. He got screwed. He got screwed.
He wants out because they're not going to pay him.
They don't want to pay him, man. I forgot what his deal is on, man. He's absolutely screwed, for real. But hey, whatever. What would the Bills be if they had a good running back?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So because right now their best running back is their quarterback, who and he's taking a beating, and they haven't found one. And that's a good point, JD, because everyone talks about how easy it is to find a running back. Well, how come they haven't found one yet? Because they've been searching.
Yeah. Shoot, Ravens been going through running backs like it's Christmas presents right now. So, I just those things, it just missed me on those things. I mean, just absolutely missed me because I think, we look at it from our scope of view, from being Chiefs fans, like, yeah, you know what, running backs ain't all that important. Well, okay, PM15 is what makes everything go.
Because you look at from the whole point, we spent a first-round pick on a running back. That didn't really work out. Then we spent a seventh-round pick on a running back. That did work out. Most franchises, if you miss on that first-round pick, you're gonna be hurting. We have a quarterback who didn't really allow that to happen. So it's not, you can't compare every situation what the Chiefs have with what we got with Pacheco.
No, not at all. And the thing is, if you're looking at all the starters in the league on teams, most of them are first and second round picks. They really are the ones that start. Okay, yep. Like I said, you have there's some filtered in. You're gonna have some examples, but if you look long and hard, you start seeing, oh yeah, first round pick, second round pick, heck, maybe a third or fourth. But most of them first, second round picks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just reality of it. So those guys got to band together, man, and make sure it's not broken. Because it's like we got to hold strong. You got to be like the Spartans. You know what? Hold the line. We got to do it. and the thing is, this conversation, to me, I'm passionate about it because this is the way they do tight ends.
Yep.
It's the same thing. Tight ends haven't been getting paid. Shoot, Travis Kelce is getting underpaid. He's getting underpaid. So it's always the conversation about why some guys make so much, an exorbitant amount of money, and some guys don't. But shoot, for the running backs, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Seriously,
none.
What they do, what they give, doesn't make any sense not to pay these guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. Because Saquon's talking about he's saying he might have to just hold out the whole season. Jacobs is considering the same thing. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how that plays out with everything this coming year.
Yeah, it should, man. I try to get out of Dodge too. And put the numbers up like that. Hey, the thing is, hey, guess what? You don't want to use my talents. Hey, peace out. See, one of the greatest running backs that I probably put as the greatest running back ever, Barry Sanders. Okay, because they didn't want to build around him. All right, he had to retire to deal with this. It's the same thing. It's just bringing back bad memories of things like that happening. But like you said, Carrington was talking about, these guys are on, kind of the second tier guys get screwed. All right, the seventh round pick, they get screwed because of these things happens. So hold the line.
Yeah, and I've read some people are saying that what are ways to kind of help out the running back situations? Maybe do it based on touches. So based on the amount of touches you get, there's a tier as far as how much. Like maybe they can build this into the new CBA. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do this. Then they click the bargaining agreement, but do it based on a touch thing, or maybe don't allow franchise tags to running backs, and they have to they can't just tag you for that last year and then right, because that's a big thing too. A lot of teams, especially the first round picks, because we're talking about Josh Jacobs and Barkley, these are a guy like Jacobs. They tagged him, and then they weren't going to allow the 5th year option. And then what happened this year? They freaking ran him to the ground, 30 carries a game, like 12 of the games this year. They ran him to the ground, knowing they weren't going to give him the 5th-year option. So I think that's where the BS comes in. I don't think teams should be allowed to do that, and they can get rid of the franchise tag, then they won't do that anymore. But
and look, that's gonna be hard to work that way off touches and whatnot. But I think, man, it's conspiratorial. It really is. Because I'm sitting there saying, it's the owners getting together saying, like, look, I'm sure they're getting together like, look, we're not gonna pay our running backs. Okay, yeah. It's in the talks, and I'm sure agents are letting running backs know, like, hey, man, they're really not gonna budge. Well, there's a reason. There's been some conversation going on behind closed doors, and we're not quite privy to. That I'm sure they're sitting there saying we're going to try to keep the market where it is. Same thing was happening during the time when you would see when the rookie contracts was just out of the world, and guys that have been in the league for 3 or 4 years would have 3 or 4 Pro Bowls, wasn't getting paid. Okay, so now you got to right the ship a little bit. All right, I don't think the guys are asking for 15, 20 million. They ain't asking for that. Okay, they're making 3 times less than what top wide receivers are making.
Yeah.
So come on, man. You look at this overall production. Same thing, tackles, and defensive end, defensive tackles, corners, all those different things. Linebackers. I mean, as far as the market, it just seems on the offensive side of the ball, man, guys are getting screwed. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah. I think this year as a whole, we've seen a lot of weird things going on with this running back stuff. That's coming to a head, and then also with the amount of 1- and 2-year deals that were going on this year. And we thought that was odd that all the teams were doing the 1- or 2-year deals more so than we've ever seen that before. No one's locking in guys to long-term deals, which is very interesting.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Things that are changing. So it kind of started with the wide receivers, right? They didn't really want to give no money to the wide receiver. You see that market kind of starts, shriveling up a little bit with the money.
Mm-hmm.
A little tight. Yeah, like a little tight. So, yeah, man.
All the money's going to the quarterbacks, even if they're mediocre guys like Daniel Jones, like we talked about earlier. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, like it's all right, like it's just okay. PM15 definitely get the money. If you start seeing these other quarterbacks, you're like, what is this joker getting paid all that money to do?
Yeah.
I'll go out there and throw picks, lose games.
Hey, I'll go out there and hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley or Matt Breida. I'll do that.
Yeah. That's why you see half these quarterbacks walking in there on their toes, floating.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out. Hey, if Jacobs isn't with the Raiders this year, I won't be. If he wants to hold out, I'll be happy. That's one of the few pieces they have in that offense that I'm scared of. So if he wants to hold out, go for it, Josh. Do your thing, buddy.
That's right. That's right.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.